Hello OGs, it's OG Mage. Before I move forward, I just want to address something. A lot of times I get asked, why OG Mage? Well, I used to be called Mage, just Mage before. As a matter of fact, I have song released under Mage. The OG came from my last name, Ogaba, but you also know what OG means. I mean, stay with me. Yeah, but the Mage, where did it really come from? Now, I like to think of myself as a lyrical sorcerer, the lyrical sorcerer supreme. So, who's a mage? A mage is a sorcerer or a learning person. And I like to think I'm both. And in that note, we are going to be breaking down $1 Billion Dream, which is a song of my previous project, the Alter Ego EP. This shit is hard, and I really can't deny. Genius and I know it, but I steady wonder why. It's no news that this career, this music thing, is hard. Saying I'm a genius and I steady wonder why is, am I a genius as a result of the decisions I made in my life? Was I chosen? Is this genes? I don't know. I always wonder these things. Like, how do you make a genius? But I continue on my grind, and if the cash to come around, my measly bank accounts could use a couple 100,000. I'm talking pounds. Music is actually my passion. On the side, I'm a software engineer, and I have a full-time software engineering career. So while I'm not in it for the money, if the cash do come around, I could definitely use that. I mean, we all could. But I've been losing sleep. I've got dreams bigger than you. Wake up before my alarm goes off. No need to snooze. Well, there's a little story behind this because I suffer from insomnia. So it's like night and I can't sleep. Also, I have to work as a software engineer during the day, and then in the night I have to do music because it's like there isn't enough time to do everything, and then I don't get to get enough sleep, that kind of thing. I think I'm really tired of walking around in my own shoes. Plus those kicks cost an arm and a leg. Well, it always feels like there's a huge burden on my shoulders. I think this particular line, when I was writing it, at the time I was listening to a song by John Bellion where he was talking about his mind and being a gift and a curse. So it is hard walking around in those shoes. Plus those kicks cost an arm and a leg. It's just me referencing how fashion is really expensive. Goes without saying. But that's something that has to be part of the whole thing, you know, the brand and everything. I didn't used to the dough when I start baking my bread and watch it grow. And just like that, the cash flow becoming non-stop. Get to a point where price tags don't get me worked up. When you're baking bread, and the yeast is what makes it rise. So that's a metaphor for my progress. And progress breeds reward eventually. So I'll probably get to a point where price tags don't get me worked up because feeling the choke. Cut my coat to my size, but the fabric looking really small. That has made living my dreams just way too difficult. I have big dreams and my imagination is wild, so I imagine big things for myself. But currently now, I don't have the resources to fund said dreams. So if I cut the coat to my size, that's going to make living my dream hard. I'm settling for less. Motivation don't they fly come out. Do I really need a rollie to tell me waiting time they talk? I always feel the need to reach the level where I picture myself in my dreams. So not being there and feeling any comfort makes me feel like I'm settling for less. And sometimes it really gets demotivating. Motivation don't they fly come out. So the line, do I really need a rollie to tell me waiting time they talk, is like, oh, me trying to convince myself, like, oh, instead of doing this big thing, you could just do this other thing. Like, if I had a watch, does it have to be a Rolex? Like a normal watch can tell the time. So just opposing settling for less. It was obvious I'll be great since the time I was a little dude. Grew up faster than my peers. I graduated, they were still in school. This is one of the peculiar lines, is that I started doing things probably way out of my age group, if I put it that way. It felt like maybe I was wasting my time, but now I'm reaping the reward. Physically, we were still in the same class, but the heights that I was reaching was the same ones where they need a stool. When they party, I would grind. I'm just glad that I could take that. Or maybe I enjoyed it because I didn't care if I win or lose. I had to cut a whole lot of things out of my life just so that I could work on the things that matter. And because of that, there were things I didn't do for a long time. I had to extract as much time as I could to do the things that I love. And it involves letting go of some stuff. So in my rise to greatness, I'm doing every mother flipping thing. I pick or choose, no pressure whatsoever. I move a finger when I'm in the mood. It's just me saying I'm going to do what I'm going to do, how I want to do it. Playing by no rules. This isn't bragging, I just came in here to tell the truth, to be an inspiration, bless the culture that I institute. What I'm doing, I hope is going to inspire a lot of people to a point where there's going to be a culture based on the message that I pass. That's how the story go. I slowly weave a little bit of it in every flow. So when I rhyme, you can feel the lyrics coming from my soul. The OG is here for good, in case you didn't know. Any song you hear by OG Mage, know that it comes from a very personal place. And you hear that when you hear my song. OG Mage, these speakers are not ready.